Hey everyone, good morning. I am here to offer a tutorial for today's lesson. I will walk you through some of the key features of creating a pattern out of these symbols that you've created. I'll show you how to resize them, recolor them, and to work within the pattern feature that is Adobe Illustrator has to offer. Okay. So I have gone and turned off all reference photos. I have locked up layers that I do not want to bother. And I have created, let me zoom in, these two little peonies. So I am now going to use these, click and drag over them. So selecting them, going up to Object, down here at the bottom to Pattern, and then moving over to Make. This default window will pop up and it will let you know that your pattern swatch is added over here in your swatches as an option. And so it's just flagging that. You'll say OK. And you can see my pattern here and how it stacks. This is just in a regular grid. I can name my pattern. So I'm going to call it Peony. And then I can play with how this is stacking. Choose a few options, see how it looks different. And start to choose the one that looks and feels the best to you. I kind of like the brick bicolumn. The next feature that I can go by is what is the offset, and you can play with the spacing right here and kind of adjust as you go. Again, a lot of this is just going to be using your eye, seeing how you feel about it. Then I'm coming down to the width and the height. You can lock these proportions so that as you change them, the other one will change also. So just to show you what that is like. So I've clicked on the link. I have locked them. I come back in to the height area. And as I click in there, I can scroll. Oof, I'm scrolling in the wrong place. Hold on. Make sure I'm down here. Move my cursor in there and I can scroll so that I can visually see what's happening. And again, it's like shrinking in on it because it does have those features linked and locked. If I undo that, I can now go to my height and maybe adjust that separately. Right in there. I'm just adjusting based on what I think is right visually for how I want to go with this. I do want some overlap. So I'm moving those in and out. Some things to know working within the pattern maker. Let's say I decide that this is really large compared to how I want it to read behind my portrait. I can select those two items by clicking and dragging with the black arrow, hold my shift key, and again, I can resize that and bring them in. I can also potentially build more to the pattern if I decide that I want to create a little more within the pattern. I can also move individual ones around. And eventually, if I stack them and I kind of figure out how I want them to be, and I've moved from, let's say, more of a rectangular shape to kind of like a diamond or a square, I can click on this box underneath the width and the height that says size tile to art. And that's important based on the relationship that we want to have as it tiles out. And then I can come in again and potentially change how that is coming together. It's kind of interesting. I think I want to work on the vertical. Let's see how this goes now. And notice it moved to the bottom. So there's a height and width, and now I'm working at the XY spacing as I resized the tile. Okay, that's feeling pretty good to me. So I come in and I like what I have. So I come to the top of my screen or my window, and right here underneath the file name and tab, I'm going to see the word done with a check mark. So I'm going to click on that. And you might go, okay, great, I did all that work and it's gone. It's not gone. Remember, there's a little swatch over here in your swatches panel or window. I'm going to slide that down here. And in order to put that now into my portrait, I'm going to, first of all, make sure that I have a layer. I'm going to call it avatar background. So I have my background over here, and now I have my avatar background. I'm going to select and drag it open. I'm going to my swatches window and bringing that in. I need to change the layering because it's on top. So I'm going to move it in behind. And then I'm going to have a moment where this white background, for as colorful or whatever we have made our portrait, that's falling kind of flat and uninteresting to me. So I'm going to take another rectangle and drag it out. I'm actually going to color it in this darker color. And again, move it to the back. I'm going to play around potentially with some of the other colors that already exist in the portrait and see if there's something that kind of brings it together, creates a little more cohesive piece of work. One of the things I also want to look at is if my pattern is taking away from the portrait. I then want to make a decision about, do I want to change the opacity up here and bring that down so that the pattern is there, but it's a little more subtle. Maybe I have yet to find the right background color. I'm not picking up on that green. Let me see if I can find it in swatches. I don't think that I have the right color, but I'm going to go out this way, bring it down into the yellows a little bit and see if I can get it to match that green stem. And now I think I might bring it back up and see what that does. And it's still a little too distracting. Okay, so that green color is not the way to go. Maybe I want to try and match some of what's happening in the actual peonies themselves. That can help tone it down. Then I'll come over and just darken it up a little bit. And that might help. As you continue to work through this today, maybe even tomorrow, and I'm continuing to just make sure things fit, maybe the design itself isn't working. So I'm going to have to come back into the pattern. I can't just change the shape that I have with the fill. So I'm going to double click on the pattern in the swatches menu. I'm going to select those and I'm going to rework the color of those peonies. So edit, edit colors, recolor artwork. As I come in, I'm going to see I've got my yellows here, and then I've got the pink tones from the flower itself. So if I come in, I'm going to notice this is linked. That might be a problem because as I move it, everything else moves, right? In turn. If you are kind of using wonky, kind of wacky, wild colors, you might be able to just go ahead and change these flowers up because, I mean, if we were already being adventurous, why not? Right? If you want to keep them very natural, then, but you want to work through those colors, I can reset. And down here on the bottom, I can just change maybe how dark they read. That's getting a little grayer. I can increase the brightness. I can also increase the level of saturation with them so that they're reading a little brighter as we go through. I want to come back and work, make sure they're not flattening out. Once I'm done, I can say done. If I don't want to save on top of, but maybe save a new version, I can save a copy. And then I can call it Peony 2 or whatever you want to name yours. And then it says, okay, it's been added. And I can say done so that I can come out again and start to look at how that starts to change the way I'm looking at my portrait as I go through. Okay, so I've shown you how to take your designs and create a pattern. I've shown you how to look critically at your pattern and how it either enhances or pulls from your portrait. I've shown you how to change the opacity on that pattern to maybe have it sink into that background a little more. I've also shown you how to create a solid color behind the pattern. And I have shown you how to edit colors and recolor artwork so that you can begin to make this more cohesive as you go through. You will spend today and tomorrow making sure that your pattern is where you want it to be. That does mean that I'm adjusting the assignment for the logo and I'm giving you the weekend to make sure that you get the two ideas done. If you find that you are done on Friday and you don't have anything to do, I'm hoping to populate a fun activity in Google Classroom that you can download. So that is all I have. If you have specific questions, please send me an email. I will respond so that you can move forward on Friday, or don't hesitate to come in during lunch on Thursday, which is today. Okay. I think that is it. Good luck.